What's up, everybody? This is Big Herc from Prison Talk, and I had a question for one of our viewers. What kind of money do you need to have in prison to live like a king? It kind of just depends on what you consider living like a king is. I mean, you're locked up, so there's not much you could do to live as a king outside of maybe having somebody steal food from you from the kitchen, or having, cooked meals in the unit in the evening time, or having, being able to access commissary and buy stuff like food that they don't have in the kitchen. Most of the time, if you have a couple $100 a month, you can pretty much buy what you need and eat in the unit every night and have a decent meal at least twice a day, because sometimes the kitchen meals aren't the greatest. There are some people who don't even have to go to the chow hall because they were really well established before they got in, so they have a lot of money, and so therefore they have somebody that cooks for them every day. There was a couple kingpins up in there who had people that clean their cell for them every day, wash their laundry for them, iron out their laundry, and basically make their food for them every day. And one person in particular, they never wore the same pair of shoes twice. Every day they had a different pair of shoes, and they would just give away a pair of shoes to one of the other inmates just because. And that's very rare that somebody's balling like that, but there are some dudes in there that are balling, that are doing very well for themselves, and they live pretty good until the money runs out. But living like a king in prison, it's all about just budgeting the money you do have. If you're hustling and you can make money cooking food for other people or cleaning cells, you could probably make enough to live decent and have nice shoes, workout clothes, and have meals during the week and on the weekends. But it kind of just depends. I would say a couple $100 and you should be good, but that just depends on what you're eating. Another question from one of our viewers. What was your first day, week like in prison? Being in such a foreign or shock to the system, how do you figure out the rules without getting taken advantage of? If you don't know anyone when you go to eat in the mess hall, how do you know where to sit? And what if you sit at the wrong table? Well, usually before you get to wherever you're designated at, you've already kind of been briefed on the rules of prison. You know what you're supposed to do, what you're not supposed to do. You know where you're supposed to sit at. You pretty much already know who you're going to socialize with. They have tables for every group, for the white, for the Islanders, for the Northaniels, for the Serranos, for the Crips, for the Bloods, for the Bay Area, for the Latin Kings, for the GDs, for the Vice Lords. Everybody has their own table and area where they sit. So somebody most likely will point that out to you if they put you under their wing. And even if you don't get put under somebody's wing, somebody usually laces you up on where to sit, how to conduct yourself, and what to do and what not to do. If you're in a unit where it's a dorm setup, they're going to tell you what toilets to use, what showers to use, what sinks to use. You just can't go in there and use anybody's sink or toilet. Like I said before, you never spit in the sink. You don't leave stuff hanging out in the shower. If you have whatever items you bring in, you don't just leave stuff for other people to pick up behind you. You always got to show courtesy in prison. And prison's all about respect. So you learn a lot of that stuff when you're in the county, and then whenever you go to receiving, somebody usually laces you up and puts you up on game on how to conduct yourself. As far as how you feel fucked up. I mean, anytime you walk into a foreign environment, you're a little nervous, but you real quick, you get your balls up and you act like like you've been there. You don't want to seem like you're overly hard, so somebody will want to touch you up, but you don't want to seem like no punk either. So you just be you. I mean, people know pretty much by your body language what you're about. I mean, the guys in prison have developed a system of reading body language just like animals do in the wilderness. So it's like a pack of wolves. They can smell fear and they can smell blood. So, for the most part, you just do you, and as long as you ain't no punk up in there, what I'm saying, carrying yourself like you all that, or, a lot of times if somebody knew you from the street, that'll help out a whole lot too, because then they can kind of speak on you as a person. But if you don't know nobody in prison, you know, you kind of fall into your own. Before you got to prison, you most likely were doing shit on the street that gave you a sense of self. So all you do is take those same characteristics and apply them in prison. No different. You just know who you can and can't fuck with.